Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber, and I'll be going over the last episode of Gundam GQuuuuuX, episode 12. I think it's the title is That's Why I, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, this from what I could tell concludes this series. Definitely one of the shortest Gundam series I've ever seen. Ending is makes sense regarding the series. It's a little confusing, a little weird, but it's not a bad ending in particular. It's just new type shenanigans, I guess. But that's not really surprising. I mean, this is Gundam after all, and especially this is a UC alternate history, so nobody's surprised, to say the least. But yeah, I would say, yeah. Regardless, hopefully I could maybe break down this episode and maybe it will help explain some things, perhaps. But yeah. Anyway, let's get started. So in the beginning, we get the continuation of Machi talking to Shuji, where he's saying, let's see, I've come from the other side to end this world that she created. So he's talking about Lala in this case. And you can see that the other ship, the Pegasus, one sec, is looking over, and it's like the Xignova reaction side, Yumangthu is getting stronger. No Ensign Kamala, do you feel anything? She's just trying to use her new type senses, and she's like, I guess so, but it's not as convenient as you think. And then you can see that Xavier is fighting Shaliable. The situation will become even more chaotic if Lady Shelia were to die. If Zeon collapses now, Zeon has to go with it. And you see that Shali's like, there's no way human reformation would be possible under a dictatorship. Which makes sense. But it's still a pretty cool battle between these two. Then you can see Char's like, whoever crosses from the other side needs to be sent back. It's like, don't, and also he mentions that, don't stop me, Shuji. As well. Like, what are you planning to do, Mr. Char? And you can see that he's activating some sort of hidden function in the Yomangthu, which opens up a portal to the other side. He says, I'll open the gate and send the Rose Girl back to the other side. So he wants to send her back, which logically makes sense. I mean, that's why he created this portal in the first place. You can see that Shuji's taking advantage of it. He's like, oh, Char's cleared a passage to the other side. And he says that the gate is opened. If things can go to the other side, then things could come from the other side too. So he's going to probably bring himself over. These specifications were never in the project plans, and like you can see that Kashila gets it like, oh, Char, did you deceive Zeon into creating Yomangthu? So she realizes that Char was also behind a lot of the planning as well, which makes sense logically. One unidentified mole suit detected, and you can see that the Xignova phenomenon is happening. The mole suit itself is showing a Xignova reaction, and Kamali's having the reaction here. And then you can see that that Shuji comes in with the original RX. Real Gundam has appeared. Gundam is saying, I will kill the Rose Girl to end this world. So, to be honest, like, even by then, we don't really know who's in the Gundam, I guess. But I don't know if he's just using the Gundam says so as a way of just conveying his own thoughts, or if it's actually another being inside. Because Machi has a different situation going on, but yeah, anyway. Why would he even consider killing Lala? Then he explains the situation, and then there's a flashback which he explains. Those are actual events from the other side. What is that, the Rose of Sharon? Yes, it's called the Elmeth on the other side. And then we get the flashback start. So Lala stopped fooling around with him. You see that Char, Lala, and Amuro are fighting. And then you can see that Lala tries to stop Char from defeating the core fighter because Hortensia, his sister's in there. And then you can see that Char's killed because in the original Gundam we know that in that timeline Lala was able to protect Char from being killed by Amuro, right? But in this case, Char dies instead. And then you can see that it gets super shocked. And then she creates the signal of phenomenon due to her grief, which is what Shuji says. It was her waves of despair in that moment that triggered the Elmas Saikamu. A world she wished for, let's see. A world she wished for where Char remains alive. Yet in every universe, Char is killed by the White Gundam. And her despair causes the universe she created to be destroyed, I believe, or collapse, I think is what he said. To destroy and ultimately collapse. After so many repetitions, she has finally reached this world line. This world. Yes, that's right. In this universe, he lives on without being killed by the Gundam. She may never meet Char here as a result, but that's the way she wanted it. But now Char himself is seeking to reject this world. That this universe, let's see, he says something about Lala. Lala's heart will be so broken and shattered that this universe will probably fall apart. So I had to put an end to this universe. So in a way, I'll make it like this universe never existed. So in a way, it's like, he's essentially just like Chaldea in a Fate Grand Order involving the Lost Spell. It's about how you destroy worlds that shouldn't exist. In a way, it's kind of funny that this concept pops up again with Shuji in particular. Let's see. And turn it into nothing more than a dream she might have had. Still, she'd create another universe all over again. Just to protect Char, the one she loves. I've had to kill her with my own hands more times than I could count. I don't want her to suffer anymore. I just want to protect her heart. So in a way, Shuji's motivations are interesting. He essentially is like, Lala is creating all these universes due to her grief over Char's death, constantly dying to the White Gundam. I want to destroy this universe so she isn't sad. Because she can never be a Char in this universe, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't make quite sense. Kinda not. I mean, you kind of understand where he's coming from, but anyway, it'll get resolved eventually. So we'll see how this goes. Anyway, and then we have Char here, and you can see that Lake Kashili's ship is like capture the Red Gundam. I must admit, you're at first to deceive Zeon this much deserve distinction, Char. And she gets a flashback of when Char was younger. Back then, they all shone in the sunlight. Unlike me with my wavy red hair. Young Casval and his sister with their soft blonde hair. Looked as if they had stepped out of a fairy tale. Being a mother might have not been so bad if I could have such lovely children. I even had that thought. Yet the Zeikumzum Daikun bloodline is now nothing but a nuisance to this world. Char, I can exterminate the old human race living on Earth to create the new type world that you wanted. So Kashili is interesting here because she wants essentially Char's original goal of wanting to destroy all humanity so Zeon could exist in space, blah blah blah. But I guess this Char is a bit different. It's like you can see that the Shalien and Char noticing something happening, the White Gundam existing. You see that, what is this indescribable fear that I'm feeling? Yeah, it makes sense because he was killed by it in a different universe, which he did notice, interestingly enough. Could it be that I've been struck down by that mobile suit somewhere? Yep, he was. Unidentified mobile suit detected. Is that it? Is this the world Char spoke of where Zeon was the one to lose the war? Let's see. Kikoroga approaching from behind. You see that Shali is trying to kill Kashili, which makes sense here. Excellent, Kashili. Prepare to die. Mood. It dodges his attack. Then it gets blocked by a ship. And then you can see Char's like ready to shoot her down. You are a fine superior. From this point, you can keep Supreme Commander Giran Company. Is essentially his version of you will die, essentially. You can see he fires using that bazooka or beam gun, whatever. And you can see that Neon is here. She's like, I wish Lady Kashylia had a chance to try my cooking. She realized she's dead. I've got no place to go now. We lost the Chevet's identification signal, so they're out of commission. Lady Kashylia. We need to rescue the survivors, prepare to launch. And then you can see that Kamali's watching over them. And you can see that Shuji is right here with Machu protecting Lala. Is like, to protect Lala. Lala doesn't want that. I'm going to stop Shuji, which makes sense. I mean, he literally wants to destroy her universe by killing Lala, so I mean. But also her goals are pretty different, you know. I'm going to stop Shuji. You see that they're fighting here. I have to finish this before Lala fully awakens. So I guess he's like, I'm not going to make her, so I'm going to kill her before she wakes up. It's like, okay, I guess. And then you can see Nyan notices Shuji's there. It's like, Shu-chan, you're the one in the white mobile suit, aren't you? You can see that Nyan finally has a proper conversation with Machu in a while. It's kind of good here. I never want you guys to kill each other, which makes sense, because they're, you know, friends and stuff. Let's see. Alright, let's see. I gotta go back to what he said. What she said. The three of us are going on a trip to the sea. You're still promising that? Shuji must be stopped to make that happen. Fight with me, Nyan. And then you can see that Nyan's like, abandoned everybody and ran away. I did something awful. It means that you survived on your own, Nyan. So I like this because, in a way, they're able to reconcile here, where essentially, Machu mentions their original goal of going to Earth, right? And going to see the beach, see the real ocean. Nyan's like, but I ran away, I abandoned you. But then Machu acknowledges that all Nyan did was to survive, and she realizes that, and that's why they're able to work together. They finally were able to clear up the misunderstanding and work things out. Let's fight together, and that's why she's actually here. Nyan, let's fight together. And you can see that they work together as a Mauve team. And you can see that Char's like, it seemed that her desires shield me in this world. In a world so destroyed, I doubt the new type era will ever come. Then I shall remove this seemingly omnipotent being from this world. I think that's referring to Lala as well, I'm assuming, yeah. Only then will we be able to lead humanity to a better era. He's not entirely wrong, it's just... And then you can see Shalia takes time to strike him here. We're already prepared to support Lady Artesia in Zeon once the Zabi family's gone. So looks like his faction has plans. Because they're like, the Zabis aren't going to be doing anything, they'll just be fighting against each other all the time. So now, Artesia is the true inheritor of Zeon. If I can remember, I think Char leads Zeon in Char's counterattack, if that's correct, I'm not sure. Haven't watched all of Char's counterattack. But regardless, it's interesting that now Shalia and Char are fighting here. Because they were previously mobs and stuff. GQuuuuuX and GFred are currently engaged in combat. Let's see. With the white mobile suit of unknown affiliation. Are they really being controlled by people? He's like watching how they're moving so quickly. Is that a battle between new types? In the end, no one can stop fighting. They might be able to see better than normal people. But if they get shot, they still die. True. You see that you could see Shala's like, it would be dangerous for you to lead Zeon. Sooner or later, you'll end up annihilating the humans living on Earth. Just like Lady Kashylia. Emptiness beside in you tells me that. So I'm not gonna lie, Shelly isn't wrong. Which is interesting, because in a way, he's actually probably one of the most righteous people in this entire show. Interestingly enough. See, they're fighting. You see GQuuuuuX and Liana working together. Then he's like, and then you can see here he uses like his berserk mode. There's no time. His eyes turn a different color, and then the original arc becomes a lot bigger. She's like, is that a balloon? It's like, how could a mobile suit get bigger? I'm like, I don't know. It's happening. That's not a holographic projection? Nope. We can confirm its mass is increasing. It's kind of crazy. It's like it's sort of now changed to like a David versus Goliath thing. See, they're fighting. And you can see that Shalia is keeping an eye on Machu in particular because, you know, I guess as her mentor, he feels responsible for her, which I appreciate. He's like essentially the dad she always wanted, or a parent she always wanted, I guess, because he kind of lets her do whatever she wants, you know, not always whatever she wants, but like they get each other, so it like works out somehow, I guess. See, Nan's Mosu gets crushed, but luckily Shuji isn't trying to kill her, so she's able to escape via the ejection ship. That mobile suit isn't from this world. Oh yeah, you can see that here. Shali is trying to warn her, and that's when she figures out what to do in this case. When he tries to stab Lala or kill Lala, she's able to block it using, I guess, the GQuuuuuuX, like whatever nose those are. It's like, I'm not alone, because the GQuuuuuuX is always by my side. It's kind of, it's sentient, which is interesting. What is like, let's go GQuuuuuuX. And you see she's able to fight back here. And and also he has an interesting monologue here, Shalia. Although you were forced to leave your home because of the Side 6 incident, you feel no regret. That gun suits you well, given how you've always fought for yourself. Because surely the true new types are the ones who suffer for their own freedom. You can see that he and Char are still fighting. And then you can see that Machu is able to make a final blow here and talk to Shuji properly here. I want to honor Lala's wishes. One day I hope to bring the world she dreamed of to life. I've been living a pretty stifling life until the day I met you, Shuji. You taught me there's a whole world of freedom out there. I say, huh? Don't you have feelings for Lala? Shuji, your paintings are always full of the Kira, which represents Lala. But Gundam says this is the only way to protect her. And then Machu's like, no, you don't have to do this. There's another way. And they can see that the GQuuuuuuX talks here. And then you can see, this is Amura's voice, if I remember correctly. I can't bear to see the Gundam taking Lala's life again. So this is interesting because if you this confirms that the one in the GQuuuuuuX, why it's sentient, is that the original Amuro from the original timeline is in there. I don't know if it's from the Lala and the Sharon Rose of Sharon world, or is the original one on the new type higher plane of existence, whatever. But it's definitely interesting that Amuro's intervening here. But I want to know Lala. But I know that Lala wouldn't want that. She doesn't need a protection, Shuji. Someone who can't survive without being protected isn't a real new type. What is interesting that this phrase is only mentioned by Komali, who I don't think of anyone else who says it. So, in a way, you can see she's influenced by the people she met on the Pegasus, or the ship that she was on before. I keep forgetting its name. But anyway, but yeah, but it's definitely an interesting phrase here. We're evolving every single day. Tomorrow will be even stronger. Stronger new type who doesn't need anybody's protection. And they see that Shuji acknowledges her will, her spirit, goodwill, her words. I traveled through so many worlds chasing after Lala. Maybe, let's see. Maybe this world was created for us to meet. I think he also mentions that, let's see. And now that journey's finally coming to an end. Yeah, so he's going to stop after this, chasing after Lala. Because he realizes that what he was doing was never for Lala's sake. He was doing it for himself, I think. I think he figures that out at some point, or at least he realizes here that in a way he was never truly acting on Lala's will. He was someone to some extent, but not because she was always sleeping whenever he did stuff. He never got to hear her voice properly. So that's kind of interesting. Never met anyone like you. Yeah, this world was created for us to meet. And then they kiss, which is pretty cute here. You can show Machu's assertiveness. And then you can see that Machu cuts off the RX's, gigantic RX's head. Mega Saikam incorporates op arts. It was specifically designed as a triggering system. Let's see, they say some important stuff here. Trying to get the words. So, oh wait, so Charlie says that it's made of the op system from the other side, like the Rose of Sharon. Then Char speaks, he says specifically designed as a triggering system to produce a Zeknova in place of the Red Gundam. So yeah, so they explain a bit of the background. As Omega Psi Kamu, or rather, has the Endominion unit awakened. So that's super interesting. You can see that Amuro's arms are here, supporting him, supporting Machu. And then she's able to cut off the Gundam's head. But the good thing is that it doesn't kill the pilot, from what I can tell. And then you can see that Lala wakes up. I think she figures out what Shuji was doing. Thank you, Mr. New Type from the other side. I don't know if she's referring to Machu in this case or someone. It's hard to say who. It looks like she's like, what does she say? Thank you, New Type from the other side. And then she decides to Zeknova again. One thing is, I don't know what she's trying to do in this case. I guess she's just trying to, like, let's get out of here, I guess. For reasons? I don't know. It's never explained why. And then you can see that I think she takes Shuji with her. Has Rose Sharon returned to the other side? Looks like it did. And you can see that Char's here. And then you can see Charlotte's asking him, Captain, what do you plan to do next? That's a good question. Perhaps I'll try to lead a life where that won't make you kill me. This is really interesting because maybe it's like fighting with Charlie may change his mind or something. I mean, as Amuro technically doesn't exist physically, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that Char has a pretty drastic change of heart here compared to before. Then you see he heads off. Then you can see that Charlie is saved by Xavier and with his Gyan. And then he mentions that Lady Kashylia is dead. And then he mentions that I submit myself to military tribunal. I will atone for my crime even if it means my life. So you can see that Charlie is taking responsibility. Then you can see that Xavier's like, you're the one working to create a world where new types can truly live as themselves, aren't you? So it looks like Xavier kind of figured it out after a certain point that Shalia was, trying to, do things for good of everybody. So yeah, thinking about what becomes of Zan after the Zabi family. So I mean, yeah, he already planned that and everything. You have responsibility. It's like, must I continue with my life? Commander, you can see Kamali pops in here. It's like, are you alright, sir, Commander? And then Nyan's like, Shu-chan, where are you? Did you already go back to the other side? And then Machu's crying. He's like, what's wrong, Machu? Are you hurt somewhere? Are you crying? And then we get this ceremony over here with the Zeon. And you see this is Artesia stepping up as a leader of the Zeon. See that these guys are just kind of observing from afar. And you see that Char is helping, doing like volunteer work and is able to meet Lala this way, which is kind of a happy ending for both of them because they get to, without Amuro / existing in this world, they get to have a happy ending. You can see that Lala is so happy here. It's really cute. And then you can see the people from the Pomeranians like, hey, can you get some Power Man? Looks like they're just trying to make money. So they use all their money already. Accident investigating committee lifted no entry order, so they're trying to go what do you call it? No, raid isn't the right word. They're trying to pillage the junkage. Yes, there you go. No time you sitting around in some dump like this colony. So they're like, we're heading out. And see, this is Machu's mother. And then she gets a call from, she gets messages from Machu. Don't know what it says, but I'm assuming it's just saying that she's okay and all that jazz. And then you can see that she's relieved that she's fine. And then the mother's like, dear, it's Amate, so references her father. And then you can see that they're on the beach here. You can see that her phone is connected to some sort of gadget, I guess. Maybe it's like some sort of like networking cable? I don't know. But they're on the Earth beach, and you can see she has a drink using to cool her head here. It's like, why? Aren't you going over to visit? And then she's like, that'd be a nuisance when we have a wanted criminal after all. But we've made it Earth now. So in a way, only Machu and Nyan are able to go to Earth. Looks like Shuji went back to Ella's side, so he's not here. Then she's asking her, let's see. So there's no other place you want to go, is there? And she's like, and then Machu says, no, there is. You mean wherever Shuchan is? The GQuuuuuuX says, we'll meet again someday. And then that's the end of the series. And then we get this post-credit image, which is kind of cute. We get the Haro with the GQuuuuuuX arms. So yeah, that's the whole end of the series. What do I think about this ending? It's technically a happy ending. I mean, the only people who are killed are Kushilia and her brother Giren. Char's still alive. Lala's still alive. Shaliabol still alive. That group is still alive. Machu and Nyan are alive, and Shuji's probably alive. No confirmation regarding his death. I'm assuming he's not dead, so most likely this is just kind of open-ended, just in case if they want to continue it at some point. But yeah, overall it's kind of a really interesting ending, not gonna lie. It's I don't know, it's a little rushed overall, but technically it's relatively conclusive, so it's not that bad. But yeah. I may go over the show a bit more in detail later, but overall I'd say it's what I rate GQuuuuuuX? Probably 7.5. It gets docked a few points for not being fleshed out in certain areas. But I would say the ending is at least satisfactory on a basic level, to say the least. So I'll give it that credit. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching if you stuck around this long, and looking forward to any more Gundam content that comes your way. Still haven't gotten any news on the IBO, I guess the continuation of that via the mobile game, based off the mobile game and all that jazz. So I think there's still more sides of Gundam to cover. Even the GQuuuuuuX is probably more of Kara's foray into Gundam and all that jazz, but yeah, sadly there'll probably not be another full season, probably. At least there's no plans to, at least based on the official media. But regardless, I'm glad that overall this series did what it wanted to do as an alternate timeline, where Char is the one who discovers the Gundam, and you get new designs, you get some new fresh characters, you get the whole Zeknova time-traveling multiverse whatever phenomenon. Definitely interesting ideas for sure. Is it actually properly? Somewhat. I feel like this show definitely needed a bit more time to develop its ideas. I feel like we could have gotten a bit more depth regarding the main trio, their motivations. Shuji, he's just mysterious. We don't even know who he is by the end. If he has he's just some guy who really likes Lala and then falls in love with Machu in particular. But yeah, I mean, he's technically from Lala's universe, but still, it's just kind of wish we had a bit more explanation of who he is, instead of just saying, I'm a guy who likes Lala, and I've killed Lala a whole bunch of times so he doesn't suffer. I'm like, okay, I guess that's makes sense, but I kind of felt like you had so much mystery, and it just feels like you come off as extremely basic, as much as I like to say otherwise. Machu, I think, is fine. You know what to expect from her. Her motivation is relatively clear. Nyan as well. Shudi's kind of the underbaked one. Kind of would have liked more interactions with the people on the Pegasus, especially Komali and Xavier. I feel like Shali is well developed, Char mostly well developed, though we don't really know exactly what happens after the Zeknova. There's some gaps and stuff. But yeah, but for the most part, with the relatively small cast, we kind of generally got what we expected. Clan battles were interesting to introduce some concepts and allow Machu to fight and all that jazz. But yeah, overall, generally solid, I would say. I feel like the show ideal would have had more time, but due to production reasons, there just wasn't enough room. So, shame, but that's how it can be sometimes, especially in anime production nowadays. Mecha shows really struggle to do well. Anyway, sorry for just extending it. I'll go over a proper review in a separate video. But anyway, thanks for watching and looking forward to talking more about other sci-fi mecha stuff in the future. Hope you have a good rest of your day.